I'm Addison Bridges. I'm 19. I'm a junior integrated marketing communications major at the University of Mississippi, and I coach at CrossFit Blue Shark.
So I swam for 10 years. We would do BMI tests and stuff. When I started, it was about 13, and getting those numbers back and me looking at the very healthy average size that I was and getting numbers that were saying I was borderline obese were demoralizing, I guess.
That just totally degraded my self-esteem. And it was really hard to kind of, because everybody was comparing and, like, what'd you get? And that just kind of instilled in me that kind of my weight was bad with body fat and just all this kind of stuff.
Then my coach started saying things to my mom. I started to gain weight, had to go off some medication I was on at the time. So it was a bunch of contributing factors then. Then I quit swimming at 15 and I started doing CrossFit immediately. And just as an athlete, I can put on weight really fast in muscle. So I started to gain a lot of muscle mass and again, put on more weight. So then in order to kind of control and better my athletics, I decided to start counting my macros. And just to count my proteins, fats, and carbs, basically controlling every single gram of food that was going into my body on a daily basis. I never went out with my friends. People were like, do you want to go out to eat? And I was just in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm gonna have to worry about my macros. How am I gonna fit that in my macros? People would offer me like a freaking donut. And I was like, no, I can't, my macros. And it was just all centered around this control of trying to manipulate what I looked like. Even though I was healthy, I was eating good foods, it was just this whole process. So if there was ever a day where I just was like, oh, I'm hungry, and I would just go over my macros, it would just turn into this basically like binge session where I was just like, I failed today, so I'll just have to like eat what I can eat today, and then tomorrow I'll start over. And towards the end of me counting my macros, it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And it kind of ended in this episode where I was standing in my parents' kitchen trying to cook everybody Sunday lunch. And I just ended up breaking down in tears. And my mom was like, I don't think you should be doing this anymore. And I was like, yes, you're right. So, I kind of had my aha moment. And after that, it was somewhat of a transition to stop trying to analyze everything that was going in my body. As a coach, I would tell people that you need to be self-aware, you need to know yourself, and you need to know if you're doing things for the right reasons. So know your limits and know where your mental state is at the time, because if you've had history of insecurities and body dysmorphia and eating disorders, counting macros is not something I would suggest.
So it's more important to me to be strong and be healthy and be a functional, healthy human being.